Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye. We're going to do the weekly Be It Be about the occult and magicians and witchcraft. And I have to say it's timely because of the way that everything is being talked about in the media again. Why would MS-13 be highly about magic? Okay, so let's look at it this way. When you are someone of that caliber of criminal and you literally are obscured from the TV and they don't release anything about your picture to a certain degree in a certain time, that means you literally can just think it, say it, do it, so intoxicated that you hurt others. So it's kind of odd, but it's called like an illusion. And when they look at these things and they look at people, it's like one of the highly complicated things. But people would know about it from an incident that happened in 1979, where upon a look, you could get into LGBTQ, you became happy, and you became what they call gay, and that you would literally cry and just go and run in a field and you would get lost. And you couldn't explain it, but it was scary when it actually happened. So, uh, like looking at him, he is like a magician, but he's really not. He is a bit of more on the low end of witch, but he can do a cult pretty good. But I feel that, his ethnicity and I feel like his culture and his heritage, which is what I see as a psychic, a mix of Aztec and Mayan, is that he's very rooted in sand. So when I see this, I hear he really speaks into your head, like really does. And when this is, it comes in so quick. And when this happens, it's just you're working immediately for him. So when I see it, all of a sudden, you have so many escalated situations happening that it opens up doors where you can't even understand, up to portals. Now, portals are something of what they call a type of age gap to a type of time gap to it's like an unearthed black hole that actually sends in energy. And when I see it, you have to say it, like, people love it because the exchange of energy in portals can literally bring about massive changes. The biggest one they talk about is the Lionsgate portal. So when I look at it and it says this mothership, it's really not talking about a vehicle or a plane. It's talking about like this type of escalation through that's so hard that they're really not grounded in reality. In order to be a true like magician or someone who does practice witchcraft, you have to be grounded in reality. Many do astral project. They really spend a lot of time in meditation, especially certain times of the day, but they literally are saying like that's not realistic expectations of how a cause and effect will have if you use this, and you really can't do it every day. These guys, like I was telling about MS-13, was about they can't even like go a day or even an hour without having to obscure themselves to others to where it clears and you're just watching them saying, caught you. So when I look at this and I say imagination, it just runs wild. So, this type of language that actually comes through on light language, when I'm talking about it, let me look at this a little bit better. Light language, I'd have to say, this like type of slang that comes in that is like, did you make it this up out of your head? I feel like they're just so swollen in the head and amped. It doesn't matter what they say to each other in telepathy because they're intoxicated, that they're like, I worked my magic. And you're like, that's not even magic whatsoever. This card right here literally can say what you're feeling at times about certain individuals of that instant, to where you go, it really hits the dot. So when it hits the dot, it really is right here where your perception comes through. And this, when I see mother card in healing, mother and father healing, it really has to talk about this masculine and feminine energy that comes in, that's in the wind, that you can't explain, but it means actually like digging heels into the ground to slow down these individuals. But they think like, I'm healed. I'm healed. Like I did it. I did it. You can't make it up. So, when I look at this too, this card forgiveness, it means that you have to sit through and you say, what has to be forgiven about how they ran rancid. All right, so let's look at this a little bit further in this deck. Sound codexes. So, as it's pertinent to right here, and I'm only seeing 2 ticks on this card today, I have to say it is frequency and hertz in these ruins. Let's see. It literally has to do with, it was just like so amped with energy. Like if you've gone to a concert so big that it just is pulsating, and it was just a turnout constantly in Central America and South America, that you heard your calling upon to get something done, DONE. Now looking at this, there's something that it wants us to know about a sacred union. When I'm seeing that individual, I do see like a union, a partnership. I do see a piece of paper of like a leaflet and it falling apart to a type of coffee he saw, but really it was tea. And when he drank tea, it got worse. Hard to explain, but he really worked his magic wrong. Like he had missteps, and that's why he was able to be caught. Okay, let's look at the gold tarot. What else do we need to know about this situation? Okay. Again, I think this is the perfect card. It's this 2 couples right here. It's not the lovers card, but it is an upset of a breaking up. When I see this, I do see again the working of skill, the magician, but it's really feeling like trickery of something that he did not expect this individual. I'm hearing like, what is occulted right through and through. Now I'm hearing it and I'm saying that, it's something stolen, but I hear steal. 2 cards. It's going to cause a little bit of chaos to an upset, but it's been foreseen. It's been foreseen. So when I look at it and I say, the Page of Wands goes, no, you can't see it at all. You have to say, it really is. It really is. Something at rest. Something at rest. When I see this, a halt stop. I'm just seeing dark. It's just dark. What do we need to know that's occulted? This one like blows right up into someone's face a little bit. I do see it's like showing me back to the aircraft crashes. It's showing me the key, the lock, the gold coins. It's like horizon though, like a rise up of a wall. This one's a little hard. Let's see. Deceitful. Something was deceitful. It's a mystery. It will like literally give you ear pain if you go near it or tamper with it. That this energy wants us to know. It really feels like a boxing of one's ears when they used to do that. It brings in money. It brings in money. Temperance, though, the balance in it, on that instance, I'm not seeing devices, but I see if you do go near it and you bother this up, and it's like specific at times too. Specific. I see like if you got like if you're playing a sport and then you hurt your ear and then your vision is distorted for a second because you got a little bit of a blowback. It's not what you wanted. But basically all you need to know is that it hurts down to actual heartache where their heart chakras to their everything, like their heart chakra down to like 3. They're like gold coin. They're showing me it's a chakra shuts off on them completely to where they say their kundalini is completely off on what it does. So that one was the Emperor card. I can't even pick it up right now. But basically, like after that, almost people are like given a deal, like on the table, like go find it, go find it, go find it. I don't know what's going on, but we can't even do. And they have no logic when they have this situation. It really is so old when I'm seeing Aztec right now. But basically, when you see it, you can't come near it or go through it or be it. It's not sting it, it's just be. Like you can't be it to be the one to actually go through it. It's really hard. It's a sharp ending. So when I see it, it's not a move on. They're almost a standstill. Like all of a sudden they catch it and they have to stand there. It's a good like 5-15 minutes where they're standing. Then all of a sudden they're crossing the border. It like it's really nasty, whatever this has come through. It is a bit of an alleviation of a poverty. It's not a takeaway. It's not a victory. It causes a pause. It's like a long wait. And then you have law enforcement and military enforcing you. And then when you see the Page of Cups, it's emotional. It's of this offering. But then I see this, the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, and Knight of Cups. I'm seeing like they're really like emotional when they come to the borders. And when I look at it, the Eight of Swords in reverse, like it's deceitful. It's a blind lead when they come through. They're just all of a sudden there, and they're so haywire because nothing is aligned and attuned, and their chakras are off, and they're doing all these odd behaviors to get it through and get it DONE, that all of a sudden they're gang members. They're just right there. And I'm not defending it because some have made a free will choice to be like that. But there's something surrounding it that's highly rooted that has to come in. And I'm seeing DEI right there. There's something about DEI also. I'm not seeing anything salt. I'm not seeing anything potassium or anything, but they are like, you look at it and you're like, they're deficient in minerals. You almost have to sit with them and like cut away at logic. Their logic is different from other people's logic. So it's like you can't even meet in the middle, and they're speaking a different Spanish that you've never ever heard before. So when I look at it and I go, the King of Wands reverse, it's highly dishonorable. And then you look at it and you go, look at the King of Pentacles. They sit well. All of a sudden, sit really well. Highly counterintuitive. Highly counterintuitive. Okay. Let's look. So this is what it's like dealing with the occult. It just sits there and literally calls it out, and you're like, no. So let's go a little bit deeper about this ear pain when you go near it and it touches it, and like it hurts, like it blows your eardrums out. Let's look at the crystal quartz. It's like a false hope of a cannon that is blown off, that happens, that you can't see it coming. And when it happens, they're like, it's like the Alamo, but it's not the Alamo. And you go through and then you come through. It's like this like spiritual enlightenment that happens that you can't believe it actually works. So, being as part as like a cult, like what type of ritual that is historically known would be like, this is like the beginning stages. It really is a sit-in and a set-in when you sit in and set in. So that's where it brings it to satanical. So when you sit to satanical, you actually sit right of way. And when you sit right of way, you can't be a day apart from that person because it's so like energy balancing that you can't be with them or without them. It's odd to explain, but that's why they're like, do you keep the devil with you? So, it goes right to the Marine Corps, the devil dog. Sometimes they would keep their enemy with them for a very long time because they were in on them. So, looking at this a little bit harder, all of a sudden I'm like, somebody heard me. You can't be apart. You can't. Here we go. Here we go. As the cards are flying out, it really is a time and wait. it is just more toxic masculinity where you have to actually watch out. When I see this, you can't be it whatsoever. Like when I see that eye, you can't see it. You're not allowed to. This is something of known. So I'm seeing an alteration in visual acuity. Then they heal their body. And then they have like this whole different perspective. And then when you look at it, it's at night. Let's pick up the cards. It's a foreseeing and a knowing. All right. Here we go. Like I said, here's the Emperor card on the other deck. But the other one is truly like what we said, that there was such a rebellion, and it has a specific story in it about loss. There's something lost, down to where when they look at the ants of the earth, as they would say, that there's something wrong with the ants. They're like so peculiar after these instances that they do in rituals that are probably like very historical. And I'm saying probably because I can't even see it because it's occulted. I'm not supposed to see it. That they're literally going like, yeah, we can see there's something wrong with the earth. And that's why we're uprising. Now, let's take a breath and like slow it down because we tapped into some pretty locked energy. As a magician, as a real magician, I would have to say that it would really have to sit hard while hydrating really well after this incident in the media with MS-13 and eat intuitively and not a whole lot, especially if you're like highly attuned to what's going on, and then see what happens just in like 15 to 30 miles on how you feel right here, like epigastric. Let's look at the animal spirit oracle. All right, buffalo. It really is like a bulldozer. I have to say this is a perfect picture. It's bulldozer. Oyster in reverse. I feel like it broke something out of New York. Black egg in reverse. Something else going on. Elephant to stop something, because usually you would see this. It's charging. And then you see this. It's mastery. Like there was like a fight. I'm seeing something like this. It's not derogatory to where you're turning of like a valve, like a hose for the garden hose, and you're turning it and the water turns on and it flows out. And then when you're looking at the dirt and it's so dry because it hasn't rained in so long, it just rolls right off. When you see the lizard, you literally have to start laughing because finally there's water flowing. And when you look at the beaver, you have to say it really is joking, but watch that animal. Watch the animal behavior because it might come back down to the point where there's silence again. I feel like there's humming around in the deserts there that it's odd. It drives them insane. So when I look at this and I say this, I'm feeling like it's a little bit more Skinwalker Ranch than anything else. So to close it out a little bit, let's go to Starseed Oracle, and then we'll go to the Cashapp. Okay. Golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Looking at the children, definitely. When I see this, the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration, it's all about. It's all about. It's heritage, it's culture, it's diversity, it's even down the road. You see it every day. And when you see it, it's visionary, it's inspired ideas, it's community gatherings, and you look and you're like, this is exactly what we needed right here. Keep going with it. And when I see it and I see the 7 star sisters, I hear the birth and creations, tapestry of life and expression. You can't even believe like how it grows, especially with women. So why would we have to know that with that? Usually, you know, anatomically and historically, especially when we have this argument about transgenderism, which is absolutely fine on this venue, that you can't even believe that someone who is transgender goes, there's something about it where you have to look at it anatomically and it's not derogatory, but it's female. It is female, the situation. So when I see it, you're part of a team of souls, call in support, go for it. Go for it. Just do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, down the road, they're doing this and they really shouldn't be doing it. And it's like, I swear to God, they put out a test. I swear to God, they put out a test. All right. Kashapp Tarot. This is where it gets people in trouble. His was literally a golf ball. I'm saying as a psychic, a golf ball. They put a golf ball right on the table and said, go for it. Go do it. I dare you. So when you see this all up in the air, I'd have to say look at the debris, especially anyone who's working EOD and like bed mortar or artillery. Look in the air. When you look at it and you see the divine physician, you have to say it's heritage and culture. I have to say you must be of good health in order to do these things, to where you have no infection. So when you actually look at them and like, I'm a magician, I'm doing this, I can do that. And then they actually take blood work and healthcare and they say, I'm sorry, I'm not. You have untreated like STDs and STIs. They're amped in the head. It's like almost reverting right back into how it was in World War, where Hitler and all of the dictatorships were so intoxicated to highly powerful that made no sense, to where they said, right now, right now, right now, right now, the grass is due, it's criminal. So when you see it and you go, the king of horses, literally, like all of them jump up, all law enforcement in the community, and they're like, go look on the past, go look everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And you go, here it is, here's that offering. They like throw a bowling ball at you on the path, and you're like, I can't go anywhere. I literally can't go anywhere. You can't even talk to the afterlife because someone's probably ghosting you like Bonnie and Clyde used to do. So with that being said, that's all I have to say for tonight, is that it really is relative. The biggest idea is that, they do these things. They are effective on getting their job done, whatever it is. But like I said, ones who practice it really well, they're a clean bill of health. They don't do anything unless they're really healthy. So if you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment, an email, a like, a share. It's greatly appreciated, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good night.